Well, here's a video that's been about a year in the making. I've been waiting for this day for a really long time because behind me, I have a new guitar. So this guitar was made by Dallas Seeger out of Maine. Many years back, I ended up playing this bar in Brooklyn with this band called Headstock, and the guitar player had this really awesome flying V style guitar made by Seeger. I had no idea who the guitar company was, and I asked him about the guitar. He handed me some literature about Seeger and about what they do. I've been following the dude ever since on social media, just looking at his website, seeing what other stuff he's come up with. And the guitars, they just look phenomenal. The finish work looks great. The styles, the shapes look great. I finally was able to place an order last year, and it's finally come. So let's get this thing open and check it out. Anyway, before we go any further, this is not like some kind of endorsement freebie. You know, I paid just like any other customer to get this thing. As you should. Ooh. Yo. Alright. Very nice. No extra BS, just a case in a box, which I like that. Sorry, I don't have a fancy table to get all this stuff out. Oh man, that is sick. Wow. This thing is amazing. Nice, comes with a hotel key, Seeger guitars, original muscle guitars, 69. Man, so check this thing out. This is an awesome guitar. I'm just really impressed with the finish. You know, finishing I think is one of the most important aspects of any instrument. And there's so many companies and small builders out there that just miss the mark. You know, they focus on putting the whole thing together rather than the actual finishing. And finishing is one of the most time-consuming parts of the process. And man, I love it. Every bit of grain in the wood looks good. I mean, just like, yeah, it's just awesome. I don't even know what else to say. So this shape is called a YG. This is not a flat top. This is actually like a carved top, similar to like a Les Paul. So what I really like about this shape is, you know, it's light, but it's not too light. You know, it's heavy, but it's not too heavy. I think definitely the added dimensions in the top definitely help. I'm a big fan of guitars, mahogany guitars with maple tops, which is why I ordered it this way. When I was a kid, I had a really close connection to the town of Portland, Maine, and it was a really cool town at the time. I haven't been there in years, but a lot of stuff happened in the music scene and just a cool town in general. Maine is a cool state. So a lot of this wood is sourced directly from Maine. I know the top is Maine Maple. The back, I'm not quite sure. I have to go look up what we talked about. And the fretboard is actually Cocobolo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I asked for rosewood originally, and he told me that you'll like this. It's kind of like getting a tattoo, you know, trust your artist, you know, trust your builder. So I said, yeah, go for it. Let's do Cocobolo. Let's check it out. For inlays, you know, we've had some of the BC Rich Clouds here. The knobs, these are actually really old BC Rich knobs. Very cool. And since I had a lot of this guitar made out of Maine woods, I'm a Virginia boy, born and raised, so we had to put the Virginia State bird the cardinal right there. So it is so sick, man. It's awesome. And the pickups here, I'm sure I've mentioned before, Lindy Fralin's office is right up the street from mine. I wouldn't put anything else in here. So just out of frame, I've got this plugged into a 1983 JCM 800, 50 watt, it's 2204. Mic'd up with a couple microphones on a Marshall cabinet with G1265s. Not that that sound can really do this thing any justice right now. Something like this, you gotta have it in your hands and play it to really get a feel for the quality of this instrument. I guess I should mention, I do have a tube screamer on it as well. I don't know, that's my favorite sound. Tube screamer, Marshall. Fretwork is awesome. You can run your fingers up and down the fretboard. It doesn't get hung up anywhere. I mean, you can just, there's no sharp edges. The fret tops are nice and crowned, very round, very polished. The nut's perfect. Every string in the nut is sitting halfway out. Now you see a lot of people, a lot of guys on the internet especially, when they make the nuts, they'll say the plain strings have to sit the full width down into the nut. I don't like them that way. Apparently Dallas Seeger does not either, because this is great. You know, at the end of the day, it's whatever stays in tune. I just can't get over how well that's made. I mean, the strings just look like they're just laying on top, like there's not even a groove in it, but they're not popping out or anything. It's awesome. Speechless. I really don't even want to be making a video right now. I just want to play it. So let's check out some more of the features on the back. Nice hip shot tuners. The tuners feel great. They're very smooth. Another thing you can tell about how well the nut is cut is how the string comes to pitch. Like they're not binding up over the nut at all. Which is awesome. Amazing. I know people that are paying thousands of dollars for guitars with very poorly cut nuts, and it's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, but this is not one of them. Hip shots with the open gears. I like the open gear thing. And looks like similar to an open book. The two edges are glued on. I like that. Again, let's just get another close-up of that cardinal there. It's so good. I mean, you can run your finger across that. I mean, it's flat. It's flat. The finish work is amazing. The binding is perfect. You run your finger up and down the fretboard and you don't feel the seam where the binding sits. It's nice and smooth all the way around. This is lacquer finish. It's not polyurethane. I'm not sure what kind of wraparound bridge is that. I'm thinking that might be a Tone Pros or something, but whatever it is, sounds good. It's staying in tune. Man, hats off to Lindy Fralin, man. These pickups also kick ass. Not too boomy, not too bright. A little on the bright side, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. So these are custom wound just for me, as far as I know. Some of the ones he did for me in the past had a couple different magnets in them in the same pickup, on upwards of 3. This one, I'm not even sure. I just said, make it a little different, put an Alnico 5 in there. So I don't know if there's a spacer magnet in there as well. Either way, it sounds great. One of my other favorite things about the Fralin pickups is the necks. The necks always sound good. I love it. Oops. So without the tube screamer, So the neck on this thing is pretty big. It's not baseball bat huge, but it's definitely not thin. It's not 60s style. Maybe closer to 50s rounded. It feels good. It feels comfortable. But the benefit of getting a guitar, especially like this made, is you can get it made to whatever specs you want. This to me is a perfect guitar. It's awesome. I love this finish. I mean, it's just like a soft 3-color burst. I really, really love seeing the wood grain here. The wood grain on the back. I adore this. You know, I like shredder guitars and pointy guitars too, but I really like to see the wood grain. You know, it just makes me feel like I'm holding a real instrument. I'm kind of sick of making the video because I really just want to jam. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys later.